All right, Panther fans, we're here with Coach Fuller at Which Which, down street from the high school here. I want to thank them for sponsoring the Coaches Show. We're here to talk about the freshman JV games last week against Trinity and the middle schools. And Coach, why don't we start with the JV teams,
Okay.
how'd they do, and how's the progress coming?
Our JVs traveled to Pennington Field, play Trinity. They have two JVs with a bunch of kids on both teams.
As big as
Giant,
the varsity?
giant players. I made this observation last year when we played Trinity's JV, and I really believe this to be true. I believe that their JV offensive line last year was bigger than their varsity offensive line was. Obviously, they weren't better players, or they would have been the varsity starters, but they were bigger. I want to talk first about our red team.
Okay.
Our red team has really struggled this year. Haven't won a game yet, but we just want to keep trying to encourage those guys because they're showing up every day. They're trying to get better, be the best football player that they can be. They desperately want to win football games, and we want them to win football games. We have some deficiencies. We don't have a ton of players at certain positions. We're spread pretty thin on both of those teams. But I talked to them today about the role. The main objective when you're on the JV is that it's kind of like being in minor league baseball. Nobody knows really. If you're a Ranger fan, you don't really know
Who's on
what
the
our
farm team?
AAA and AA teams, what their records are. You might know who's coming up, but their job is to get better and prepare for the day when they're on the varsity. And that's what we try to remind them. If we're not getting the wins right now, and hopefully they'll come, and we're going to get better. But their job is to prepare for the future and compete as hard as they can. There's a lot of frustration, I know, with some of them and some of the parents. Some of the coaches. It's not ever fun to go out and not win games. Our JV black team they played their guts out last week. They got beat 12-7. As big of a physical mismatch size-wise as we had on Friday night. It was bigger on Thursday in that game. But like I said, they played their guts out, played as hard as they possibly could. Had every chance at the end to get it done. Just came up a little short, but there's nothing. I mean, if you give the best effort that you possibly can, and you come up short, there's no shame in that. They'll grow and they'll get better because of that. And they won the week before. We're going to start playing some teams that match up a little bit better with us. But like I mentioned earlier, the bottom line is they're getting better. They're perfecting their craft for the days when they're older and going to be on the varsity football team one day. So that's the objective. And if you have a son that's on one of those JV teams and isn't getting the satisfaction they want out of having wins on the scoreboard just yet, that's what I would tell you as a parent. Just encourage them and just have them keep with it, because football is not necessarily a sprint. When you're talking about a high school football career, it's a marathon. It's the guys that stick with it and the guys that keep working in the off season and work on the days they don't feel like working so much are the ones that rise to the top. By the time they get to be seniors for the most part.
Good. How about switching gears on the freshmen?
Freshmen. They played Harwood Junior High, which Harwood, they feed into Trinity.
Right.
They've got a couple of junior highs that feed into Trinity, but they're traditionally a pretty good team. It was from day one of this football season till last Thursday night, watching our freshmen. It was such a good feeling to see just the incredible progress that they've made. And it's night and day from day one until now. Just gelling as a team, their ability to be physical and to tackle like they did. The week before, for example, our JV red team. Watching that game, it looked like the only way we're going to tackle anybody is they decided to run out of bounds. We didn't tackle anybody. Yeah. We really struggled to tackle. So we made a commitment, and it's paying off that we're spending an hour a day, every football coach in the building, working with those guys on fundamentals and just getting better. they're getting more confident, feeling better about things, and getting to know each other because they're coming from 3 different middle schools, and there's even a few that moved in from other places. But to watch them against Harwood and how physically they played, they blocked great, they threw the ball, caught, ran the ball, big physical hits, tackled great. Our black team won 45-0. Our red team won 28-8. And so it's, you know, hopefully we can. You know, doesn't mean they're going to win every game the rest of their career.
Right. Something to build on.
But if you want to just talk about 1 month of football in their lives, an incredible improvement, and really on the right track. And that's a group we feel really good about. You know, I couldn't tell you what their records were when they were in the 8th grade,
right?
As far as the A and B team from all the schools that feed us, but that didn't matter. That was getting ready for this year and on into the future. So just really excited about that group. We hope they stay with it. They've got more linemen in that group than any we've had in the 6 years that I've been here. And just more, not just bigger linemen, but more people who play that position,
right.
Which is kind of what we're struggling with our JVs. There's not enough linemen to go around. It just it happens. You know, some years you get a bunch of, you know, some freshman classes come in with a bunch of tall kids, and some come in with a bunch of fast kids, and some you know, some have the perfect mix, and some you know, may have a whole bunch of receivers and no linemen. This group has a lot of linemen, and the receivers are coming along, and really just encouraged by the way they've improved and become a physical football team in a pretty short amount of time.
Good. So Grapevine this week, JV will play at the high school here.
Our JV will play at home.
And then the freshman teams will play
at Mustang Panther.
Okay. Over at the stadium.
That's where they play their home games.
Perfect. All right. Well, thanks much.
Thank you.
Thanks to Which, and get back with us next week for an update following the Grapevine game.
All right.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.